Alright, now when we talk about gaming laptops that offer amazing value for money, the Lenovo Legion lineup is pretty much at the top of the list. We've previously reviewed the Legion 5i, which proved to offer great value for its price. And well, this right here is its updated version for 2022, the Legion 5i Gen 7 2022 version. And I've been using this laptop for quite a while now, and I do have some thoughts. So why don't we talk about them? This is one from GTR and you're watching my in-depth review of the Lenovo Legion 5i. Yeah, that's the name. Let's just get started. Alright, so let's start off by talking about the design here. Now on the face of it, it's not very different from its predecessors, which I personally don't mind since I've always liked Lenovo's design language. You get ports left, right and back, and then you have a full-on thermal setup as well. There's the signature Legion branding on the lid, along with another logo slammed at the bottom bezel, but that's about it. The hinge does go flat 180 degrees, and the build quality here is top-notch. Now in terms of I/O, the Legion 5i has it all. On the left side, you have a Thunderbolt 4 port, coupled with a USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 port. Over to the right side, you get a USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, followed by a 3.5mm headphone jack and a physical webcam shutter. Then over to the back side, you get an RJ45 port, another USB Type-C 3.2 Gen 2 port with support for DisplayPort and power delivery, a full-size HDMI port, two more USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 port, and a power port for charging. So basically, yeah, apart from a SD card slot, the Legion 5i has it all. And trust me, I genuinely wish this laptop had an SD card slot because the display here is amazing, especially for content creators. So let's just talk about the display, right? The laptop comes with a 15.6-inch WQHD display with a peak brightness of 330 nits. Now this panel is VESA Display HDR 400 certified and has 100% sRGB coverage. What's more is that you also get support for Dolby Vision here. So whether you're creating content or consuming it, the panel here will amaze you. But of course, this is a gaming laptop, so obviously you need high refresh rates. And again, the Legion 5i does not disappoint. The panel here has a refresh rate of 165Hz and also comes with support for Nvidia G-Sync technology. Now gaming on this is an absolute pleasure because not only is the display great, so is the performance. So let's talk about the performance then. Now our unit here comes equipped with a 12th gen Intel Core i7 12700H processor coupled with 32GB of DDR5 RAM clocked at 4800MHz. You get the Intel Iris Z graphics on board along with a dedicated Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 mobile GPU. There's also 1TB NVMe SSD on board. Now the benchmarks are on your screen and the laptop breezes past them all. You can switch the fan profiles using the Function plus Q shortcut, which basically pushes the laptop to output at its peak. And as far as gaming goes, while the laptop does have a resolution of Quad HD, I would suggest that for the best performance, stick to 1080p, since the 3060 is the ideal graphic card for 1080p gaming. As you can see in AAA titles, the laptop does not disappoint at all and outputs great results. What's more is that you also get great cooling inside thanks to the dual fan setup. Also in terms of upgradability, you can easily upgrade the RAM and the storage here. Alright, so moving along, we have the keyboard right here. And here's the thing, I have always been a fan of Lenovo's keyboard style. I mean, I personally use a MacBook Pro as my daily driver for work, but even so, I would have to argue that nothing beats the keyboard on Lenovo's ThinkPad lineup. And the good part here is that the Legion incorporates the same keyboard, but with slight changes for that gamery touch. Like I said, the keyboard here is similar to the ThinkPad lineup, which basically means you get excellent key travel and perfect feedback for each keystroke. As for RGB, there is some cost cutting done here since I would have preferred per key RGB lighting here, but instead what we get is a 4-zone RGB lighting with slide animation effects that aren't as smooth as you would ideally prefer. But other than that, it's a great full-sized keyboard, so no complaints. Yeah, so then we have the touchpad. Now, I'll be honest, I admire the overall size of the touchpad, which is great for a 15.6-inch chassis. The palm rejection in itself works fine too. But what I do not like is the surface here. It's not that smooth. I think that's one area where I feel the HP's Victus lineup does the best job. The Legion's touchpad isn't that smooth to operate and it's more noticeable when trying to perform gestures. Now don't get me wrong, it's not bad by any means, but there's definite room for improvement. Then again, if you're going to be spending money on a gaming laptop like this, there are chances that you'll probably end up buying a dedicated gaming mouse anyway. And for the off chance that you have to use the touchpad, it's decent enough. Also, speaking of good gaming mice, our review of the Logitech G502X Plus just went live. It's easily one of the best gaming mouse out there, and you should definitely check out our review of that from the card here. Moving on to the webcam, the laptop packs in a 1080p camera, which to my surprise is actually pretty good. I mean, yes, there is a little bit of noise, but the overall face structure looks very sharp. And what's more important is that even in not so good lighting conditions, I mean, right now we're shooting in studio, but even in not so good lighting conditions, the webcam performs very well. And as for the mic quality, well, you can judge for yourself. In fact, I would argue that the webcam here is much better than most of the gaming laptops out there. And if you're someone who plans on streaming while gaming and does not want to invest in a dedicated camera right away, the webcam here is a very good starting point. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about the audio department here. So, of course, you have bottom firing stereo speakers here, which is a pretty common thing across gaming laptops, which is fine. The stereo speakers here have tuning by Nahimic, which sounds good, but essentially it is very important to just know how to use it. Because the thing is, at high volumes, the laptop creaks and there's a lot of muffling involved. So if you're someone who plans on doing a lot of content consumption on this, like watching movies or something like that, it's better to spend some time fine-tuning things inside Nahimic to get the best audio output, because the display would not disappoint, but the audio output does definitely leave room for improvement. Lastly, there's the battery life. Now this thing packs in an 80 watt-hour battery, which Lenovo claims should last you about 4 hours. Now in my testing, I was averaging around 2.5 hours, which is, well, decent enough considering the hardware that this thing packs in. But that also means that you have to constantly carry around the beefy 230 watt charger, which genuinely weighs like a brick. Now, of course, I did mention that this thing does support USB power delivery up to 100 watts. So alternatively, you can just carry a 100 watt USB PD charger, but just keep in mind that you can't really be gaming on that because it won't be really pushing the full wattage that's required for both the CPU and the GPU. So, the pricing. Well, the i5 variant of this laptop that comes with a full HD display is priced for about 1.25 lakhs. But the good part is that if you upgrade to the i7 variant with a wide quad HD panel like we have here, that will cost you about 10 grand. And in my opinion, if you're just going to buy one, just get the i7 variant because it basically promises the best performance that you can get from this laptop. Also, as far as the comparison is concerned, the Legion 5i is definitely priced much cheaper as compared to most of its competitors that come with the same package. So yeah, as a whole package, I would easily recommend the Legion 5i to anyone out there who wants to buy an RTX 30 gaming laptop with the latest Intel 12th gen processors. Well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Varun from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.